where you won't be found. There's no way on up. Hell would have to freeze over twice before I will let you go.
Hello and welcome to Zandvoort in the Netherlands. It's the second race weekend of the DTM season 2011, and this racetrack is very exciting because it's embedded into the dunes. It sounds very idyllic, but in fact what we saw here this weekend was very stormy. And if you want to find out who won this race, check out the highlights. Enjoy.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's the circuit by the seaside, Zandvoort in Holland. And the second round of the DTM, a very tricky technical track with a huge history, of course. There were over 30 Grand Prix held here, but it's been on the DTM calendar now for the past 10 years. And in that period, there have been 5 wins for Audi and 5 to Mercedes-Benz. So the two manufacturers, they are pretty evenly matched here, and that's the way it's been in qualifying. Out there on the North Sea, they're getting their fun, but there's plenty of excitement down here on the grid. And one man who's looking forward to the race is Matthias Ekstrom. Ekstrom, of course, a previous winner here at Zandvoort. Have to say it's a highlight of the year. The circuit's fantastic for driving. I'm already looking forward to it. We're going to see a close battle between Mercedes and Audi. And over the recent years, Ekstrom has been on the podium almost every time. But the man who has won this race for the last 2 years is Gary Paffett. He's won it 3 times overall. I'm looking forward to a good event here.
Yeah, I love the track, yeah. One of my favourite circuits, and I've won there 3 times, so let's try and make it 4.
One man who has never won here is the French-Canadian driver Bruno Spengler, hoping for better times. Audi is really fast right now. We have to watch out. Zandvoort has always been good for Audi. I'm looking forward to racing at Zandvoort. I'll do my best. We'll see how things go. And here is the one Dutch driver in the race, a rookie, Renger van der Zande. And he drives the Stern Mercedes.
Alle familie en de Hollandische fans, die komen. Ik hoop ook de Duitse fans.
They're all coming to Zandvoort, all my friends, my family, the Dutch fans, and maybe some new German ones too. I'm hoping to be fast as I was at Hockenheim. I'm hoping to get into the top 10, says Renger van der Zande. And what about Martin Tomczyk? He went very well at Hockenheim. There he is in the green and yellow Brazilian-coloured car. Zandvoort is a very demanding circuit. It's real fun to drive. Now we're going to see what the new tyres from Hankook are like round here. A little bit of fine-tuning, I expect, but we'll be competitive and we're going to fight. Let's wait and see.
Schon wieder konkurrenzfähig sein werden und auch vorne mitfahren können. Und lassen wir uns mal überraschen.
So that's Martin Tomczyk, of course, demoted this year to one of the older cars. And now, courtesy of Hankook, let's check out the circuit. Just over 4 kilometres round. And we've got a wonderful animation. One Mercedes, one Audi. There they go, racing down first into the Tarzan corner. It's the bank there. It's seen a lot of action in the past. Good overtaking place. Then we come through a sharp left-hand hairpin, second gear, up through the dunes, and then we get to the very technical part of the circuit. The Audi's in front at the moment from the Mercedes. Then diving downhill to another second gear hairpin, slowest part of the track. This is the section of the track which is relatively new. They shortened the track. Headlights ablaze, not quite sure why. Again, Lots of sand on the circuit because of the dunes. You have to watch the grip levels, they change all the time. And of course the spectators up in the dunes get a great view here. Finally we're going to drop down to the main straight again, taking the that left-hander which is fast, and then we're going right there. And it seems they are neck and neck, that's no surprise. And that's a lap of Zandvoort, animated by Hankook. Exact length, 4.307 kilometres. We've got a 41 lap race. Timo Scheider holds the lap record, 1:32 and a fraction.
Zandvoort is natuurlijk...
Yeah, Zandvoort is great, says Renger van der Zende. Going there again this year. I'm from Holland. It's right by the sea. There's always a big crowd. And as I said before, all my friends and family can watch here.
It's one of those amazing racetracks, not just because it's a great racetrack, but also the scenery. You're right next to the beach, a lot of spectators there, and it's just a wonderful atmosphere.
Er is immer viele Leute da.
Susie Stoddard says there's always a lot of people there, and the people from Holland love the DTM. Mario Engel, for a driver it's very, very demanding, physical, with lots of real fast hand turns, or fast right hand turns, can feel the G-forces.
Here we are at Zandvoort, one of my favourite circuits. A bit of a lock at the front wheel into Tarzan, the first corner. It's a very technical circuit, this, and something that's quite difficult, really. A flat left into a quick right-hand corner before a tight left-hand corner. Really important to stop the car here. You have a very long run up the hill after this, so you've got to get on the power very hard, very early.
Top speed in this section, 4th or 5th gear, and then it's the section where we go into 6th. We're above 230 kilometres an hour. Start braking, change down, then into the ultra-fast right-hand turn, and go through that in 5th gear. Then you enter the next section. There's a hard bump over the curb, and then we get to the really slow combination of turns, 2nd and 3rd gear. This second section is newly asphalted, doesn't have quite as much grip as the rest of the circuit.
So we're up to 6th gear here, then braking very hard for a very tight chicane which starts right, and then you've got a long left-hand corner. Using a lot of curb on the apex there. Again, out of this, getting on the power hard, there's a bit of a crest out of here. And then up to the last 2 corners.
And then we come to the 2 most important turns of the circuit, the double right-hand turn. You have to come out of that perfectly, then step hard on the gas towards the line, 5th gear, up to 6th, up to 240 kilometres an hour. Hopefully a perfect lap.
2009 in Zandvoort is probably the highlight of my DTM career so far. Managing to put it on pole position in a year-old car, that was a really special day for me. And the feeling crossing the line, knowing that that lap was good enough for pole, is something I'll never forget.
Also letzte Saison 2010.
Well, last season at Zandvoort in 2010, it was a very short race for me. I think it was the shortest DTM race I've ever driven. It was a good start, I passed Jamie Green, and then on the first lap, the front suspension broke on one of the curbs, and that was it. Definitely the shortest DTM race of my career.
Und das war das Ende. Also ich glaube, mit ziemlicher Sicherheit war das kürzeste DTM-Rennen, was ich gefahren bin.
Ja, die erste pole position in
The first pole position in 2010 in Zandvoort was one of my best, I think. Everything seems to happen at once here, but if you get everything perfectly right, then it really is a very good feeling. But I pushed the car really hard, I risked everything, I lost everything, and then fell back to 11th place. And of course, that wasn't very enjoyable. I felt annoyed messing up the start.
Qualifying second on the grid behind Timo Scheider. Very good starting place there for me, and Timo, as you'll see, stalled on the grid, so I got in front at the start with Paul just behind me, and me and Paul managed to drive away from the front of the field. For me, it was quite a comfortable victory, really. You know, I really enjoy Zandvoort. I've won there 3 times now, and a circuit I really look forward to going to.
Gary Paffett, winner, 2010. So look at qualifying, and a second pole position for Bruno Spengler. Pole in Hockenheim, did it again here.
very happy. It's my first pole position in Zandvoort. I was always a bit unlucky or could not put it always together here in Zandvoort in qualifying. But today it's great. Pole position, the Q4 lap was pretty good. My car was very consistent. A big thank you to my team.
And it was an all Mercedes-Benz 1-2. Jamie Green back in the top squad. Made it P2 to complete the front row for Mercedes-Benz.
I'm really happy overall with my performance in qualifying. My speed on new tyres was really strong. Q4 was a bit different on the used tyres. I didn't get the best out of the car, but I'm still happy to be on the front row, and I think I've got a good chance to go for the win tomorrow.
Mercedes on row 1, Audi on row 2. Mike Rockenfeller taking P3. Martin Tomczyk was on P4 in the older car. Great performance by him.
Definitely, I'm happy with fourth place. I mean, right from the beginning of the weekend, you could see that it's a really tough weekend, that all drivers more or less are in 1 second and fighting for positions, especially on the top places. In qualifying with the fourth place, I'm for sure happy. I think you could also saw that the Audis struggled a bit with the used tires, as well Rocky struggled a bit, so Mercedes had a small advantage. But I hope it will be as tough as it was today in tomorrow's race.
Another good performance from the rookie in DTM, Eduardo Mortara, and he finished in 11th on the grid. Best of the old Mercedes drivers.
For tomorrow, I hope to have a lot of crowd on the track, family, friends, everything, and hopefully a lot of fans with Renger caps and so on, Mercedes caps, everything. So let's hope and see, and hopefully we can get some points tomorrow.
Biggest shock of qualifying, the lack of pace for Matthias Ekstrom, and he only qualified in 16th place. He had work to do.
We did some changes. I didn't have any big mistakes. We were a bit out of the performance window, and then it goes very quick that you're not in the top.
Susie Stoddard in the pink car, can't miss that one. She qualified 15th on the grid, 1,000th of a second slower than David Coulthard. So let's look at the grid. Spengler and Green, Rockenfeller, Tomczyk, Paffett and Scheider. Then Mortara and Ralf Schumacher, Miguel Molina and another rookie there, Felipe Albuquerque from Portugal. He lined up in 10th spot. Renger van der Zande, the local hero. Oliver Jarvis disappointing in 12th. Mauro Engel, Coulthard, Stoddard, Ekstrom, Christian Vittoris and the second lady driver, Rahel Frey. Naturally, this is a very special race for one driver in particular. It's Renger van der Zande, the young Dutchman in his maiden DTM season, clearly fired up to go racing on his home event. He was a little unlucky in Hockenheim. There he had the engine cover come off after a small bump. So that caused him to retire from the race.
So we're very lucky we've got a few minutes with Renger van der Zande because you're very busy here, obviously, in Zandvoort. And now the qualifying yesterday went really well, starting in P11 today. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm really happy. To be here in Zandvoort, first of all, it's an amazing track. And second of all, to do well as well is really good. So I hope today to do a good result. And from P11, everything is possible. Top 8 will get points, so I'll aim for that, of course. And to score it's only my second race in DTM, and to score points in Zandvoort, in Holland, my home country, would be amazing.
That would be nice. And now check this out. I mean, oh my God, you're a big star here in Holland. Does that motivate you even more?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, this and a lot of people are here with flags and caps and everything, and I think that's really cool. And of course, also will give me a big motivation to do even better, you know. So.
And obviously you're aiming high. I mean, it's your first year in the DTM as a rookie. But all in all, if you look up to other people, maybe Christian Albers or something like that, is that kind of what you're aiming for?
Yeah, I mean, he did really well, and he was close to winning the championship in years before, 2006 or something. So I think for that, if I can do the same, and I'm starting in an old car, and to do well in this car is already possible. So if I can do well this year and maybe grade up to a New Year's car, that would be amazing.
So now I need an answer that's a bit more specific about the race today. What do you hope for?
I hope for 8, top 8.
Right, that's a statement. Thank you very much and best of luck.
Okay, thanks.
Certainly pressure on the shoulders of Renger van der Zande and other Dutch drivers winning a couple of the support events. Well, we're set for the second race of the 2011 DTM series. Temperature just about 14 degrees. It's always windy here right by the North Sea. And watch, of course, for that sand blowing across the track. Bruno Spengler certainly looking strong. There's Gary Paffett, qualified in 5th spot. Timo Scheider will start on P6. And Ralf Schumacher, he's going to start on P8. And there Ralf puts on his gloves, climbs into his car.
Well, I never really hated Zandvoort. I always liked Zandvoort, but I was always a bit unlucky in races. Always had special events here, special things happening in the races, which didn't really help me. But yesterday qualifying was really good, so I'm really looking forward to start from pole today and try my best to win the race.
Yeah, there you see how close the track is to the sea. Again, the grid: Spengler green, Rockenfeller, Tomczyk, Gary Paffett, Timo Scheider, Eduardo Mortara, the best rookie, Ralf Schumacher, who of course was 3rd in the opening round at Hockenheim, Molina and Albuquerque. We can go down to the grid again in a moment, but there's the rest of the 18, brought up by Rahal Frey, the new Swiss lady racer.
Well, in Hockenheim I was quite strong in qualifying as well, and the race didn't go like didn't end up like I wanted. So hopefully today we can have a good result in the race as well. I think P3 is a good opportunity to have a good race and score many points. So that's what I try, and have a good start, good first lap, and then try to keep pushing.
Keep pushing, that's what it's all about. Bruno Spengler there, winner in Hockenheim. But he's never been on the podium here at Zandvoort, and he's raced here for the best part of a decade. Jamie Green, happy to be back in one of the current spec cars. Says it is quite a bit different from the older car, so he's still learning it a little bit. Mike Rockenfeller still, of course, looking for his first DTM victory. He may have won Daytona 24, he's won Le Mans 24, he wants to win a DTM race. Best newcomer on the grid, Mortara, won here last year in the F3 Euro Series, so he knows the track quite well. There, the local hero. Final handshakes. What about Matthias Ekstrom? Just didn't get it right in qualifying, all the way back in 16th. How far can he go forward? He'll be charging, that's for sure. Great atmosphere here at Zandvoort. Substantial crowd here up in the dunes. Tension before the start. Lights about to go out. Who will get the jump? And a good start from Bruno Spengler. Spengler makes an excellent release down towards the Tarzan corner. But look at Rockenfeller. Rockenfeller has slotted into second place. Tomczyk tries to go all the way around the outside. We've got one locking up there. It's Albuquerque, I think, that has gone off into the gravel. The Portuguese driver showing his inexperience in these cars. But it's Bruno Spengler who is in the lead. Bruno Spengler just saw Vitoris in the old JB Green colours near the back. Vitoris, who was racing a GP2 car last weekend, so switching disciplines. But Spengler wants to make it 2 out of 2. Had a brilliant flag-to-flag victory in Hockenheim 2 weeks earlier. Here we are at Zandvoort, flames flashing from those exhausts of those 470 brake horsepower V8 engines. Ekstrom, I think, has made a few places up the grid. Watch out for the Red Bull car. Here's a replay of the start. There's Vitoris on the outside, and there is Albuquerque off into the gravel. And that could bring him problems later. Dropped him to the back of the field. There's another view of it, just carrying too much speed down into the famous Tarzan.
Now for you, the race ended way too soon. Why? What happened?
Yeah, after the start, I locked the wheels. I went on the grass. I don't know why. Then afterwards, the temperature got too high on the engine, and I had to stop. I don't know, maybe due to the stones on the radiator. I don't know.
Here's the start from our front camera coming straight at us. Brilliant start by Spengler. And look at Rockenfeller's yellow car, and Jamie Green already dropping back. And Tomczyk trying hard around the outside. We can see it from high above. Again, Jamie Green just not getting a very good start. Just trying to see Ekstrom. He moved up a couple of slots, certainly. And locked up under braking, I think. And we also saw that other car flying off. Now we can go from Timo Scheider's car. Let's have a look at this view. Timo making a good start. Right there behind Jamie Green. That's Jamie Green's silver car in front. The old Ralf Schumacher colours. Close racing in the opening stages of the DTM. Now we're on board with Tomczyk. Martin Tomczyk, been in the DTM for the best part of a decade, and this is the first year where he hasn't been in one of the current cars. The current cars, of course, have now been racing for 3 seasons. The remaining cars for 4 seasons. There aren't that many differences, but the older cars are allowed to run with 25 kilos less, but they don't have quite such a good aero package generally. Albuquerque, of course, 17th place. And Frey, there is Timo Scheider. Get used to those new white colours on the Audi A4 from the double champion in 2008, champion in 2009, Timo Scheider. And Scheider being hounded there by his teammate, Martin Tomczyk. Tomczyk, he went really well at Hockenheim in this older car, and he's going well here again. In front of some of the newer models, including, of course, Ralf Schumacher with the orange nose. Ralf getting a lot of good press after his 3rd place in Hockenheim. Now look at this, coming out of the Hugenholtz corner. And look at Tomczyk, just goes a little bit wide. Look at Timo Scheider. Timo Scheider's going to get past him, I think. There you are, wheel to wheel. And Tomczyk certainly not giving up. Now go on board. Timo Scheider, and there he has the tighter inside line as they come out the Hugenholtz corner, climb over that brow. Look at them on the Audi management perch there, concentrating on that battle. So Timo Scheider really pushing hard with Jamie Green, and of course first round of pit stops coming up. Everyone running on these new Hankook tyres. They behaved well at Hockenheim, seem to be working well and efficiently around Zandvoort. Rockenfeller, though, well placed in 2nd position. There is Jamie Green, lost out at the start. There's the packed grandstand. Mercedes, Audi, Mercedes, Audi. That's the top 4. Mike Rockenfeller, the former Porsche racer, past the pits again. And no, he doesn't go, he goes in, takes an early stop. And quite a few others coming in as well. They'll splash some fuel in and put on a new set of Hankooks. See, those tyres have not been scrubbed in. That'll give them a little fraction extra. And they're brave, those boys standing in the pit lane there. David Coulthard also makes his stop. And the, oh, look at that, very close as they come out together. Spengler. There's the Scheider Tomczyk battle for third position. So now it is, did I say it was Mercedes, Audi? It's of course Mercedes, Mercedes, Audi, Audi. See, quite bumpy that straight. Another pit stop. And here's the race leader who comes in. And there's a suggestion that the Bruno Spengler car did not come in on the lap in which they'd hoped. Came in a lap late. Apparently some radio communication problems. Spengler, a very quick stop. But did I see Rockenfeller in front? So, crucial stage of the race here. Green under pressure now.
In the car I only heard one spits very quickly and very close to the last corner. So I wasn't sure, and normally when I didn't hear clearly, I don't answer. And when I hear clearly, I say yes, I confirm. But this time I didn't confirm because I didn't hear clearly, I just heard very short pits, and that's why I didn't stop, because if you stop and the mechanics are not ready, you lose more than not stopping.
And that was crucial because Bike Rockenfeller was in the front now. Spengler just not stopping at the right time. Didn't lose any time at the stop, but Rockenfeller had been putting in some very quick laps indeed. So now it was Rockenfeller in the lead over Spengler. Tomczyk still going very strongly indeed. Pappet and Schumacher yet to pit. There's Timo Scheider. But Rocky looking good. Could the 27-year-old score his first DTM victory? He's been trying for 4 years now. Of course, in previous years, has always been in one of the older cars. Has had a podium finish. A lot of tension here at Zandvoort. There's Mortara. Also seeing Jarvis coming in. Tomczyk comes in. There's the Tomczyk car, can't miss that. Gary Pappet. Gary doesn't seem to be happy with his car. He's reporting to his engineer that he feels it's been understeering. Oh, dramatic stuff as they come out the pits. All very close. And Pappet and Schumacher very close together. And just in front of them, Martin Tomczyk. Currently, it's Ekstrom leading on the track because he is staying out for a long first stint. Here, looking down, or did they touch? I think there might have just been a little brush of paint there. We can see it again. All a bit frantic, but anyway, they managed to slot out. Here is Ekstrom. As I said, he is currently in the lead from way down the back of the field, but of course he will drop back quite a lot of spots. But now he's hoping certainly for some points. There's Mortara. There's Rockenfeller. Look at Tomczyk right behind Mortara. Gets the toe, pulls out, breaks down into the area of the Tarzan corner, where famously James Hunt and Mario Andretti tangled and had a very vociferous exchange of words afterwards back in one famous Grand Prix. Hankook boys just checked the tyre temperatures. More pit stops. Timo Scheider comes in. Mortara comes in. And Ralf Schumacher comes in for his second stop. All these boys on their second stop. And meanwhile, Ekstrom is still out there. He hasn't made a stop yet, while some have made two. Obviously, he will fall back down the field, trying to calculate exactly how far. Once he makes his pit stop, as we see a replay here of The Ralf Schumacher stop, the Salzgitter car. Hockenheim, we saw cars going out with the fuel can still attached. Now there's a new penalty and a fine for that. 10-second penalty. There is Ekstrom. Is he finally going to come in? Yeah, he does. And that will drop him down the order. So the man who led for a while comes in. Spengler will, I think, then move up to a second place. But Rockenfeller has put in a series of very fast laps indeed. This track has got so many undulations. Now Rockenfeller, was that him coming in? Yes, it was. In the E-Post Brief Deutsche Post car. How quick is this stop? Seems to be a slight pause. It says 3 seconds, but that was not a 3-second stop. He certainly lost a bit of time there, but he's going to come out in front of Bruno Spengler. There's Spengler coming. But no, Rockenfeller is still out front. Spengler starting to push hard now. Jamie Green in the silver car. Still in with a podium chance here. But Mike Rockenfeller looking very strong indeed. Had a good qualifying in Hockenheim and then a very disappointing race. Said afterwards they had found some technical issue with the car. There's Norbert Haug and his PR chief, Wolfgang Schattling. There is Ekstrom, of course, dropping back through the field. Still got to make another pit stop. Tomczyk then comes in for his second stop. Rattle guns go to work, tyres go on, no problem with the fuel tank. And I think I just saw Ekstrom come in behind him. And there Tomczyk back side by side with Timo Scheider. Tomczyk stays ahead. Gary Paffett has fallen back down the field, suffering from that understeer. There's Scheider. Scheider, the double champion. And look at this. That was Ekstrom coming out in front of Gary Paffett. Looks as if Gary might not even get in the points now. You need a clear track for fast laps, and we were quick. Tyres were well, more or less gone, but our pace was still good. And you have to say you have to push to overtake, because it's very difficult to overtake round here, but I was managed to do that, says Matthias Ekstrom. Tomczyk now right on the back of Jamie Green, determined on a P3. Seems to have the speed in the older Audi. So good battle here in the closing stages. There's Tomczyk's partner, Christina Sura, and his brother, who manages his career. On board with Tomczyk, pressuring Jamie Green. Tomczyk really worrying at the back of Jamie Green. The man who won 3 times, of course, at the famous Norris Ring. Jamie Green, there they were on the Audi pit wall. Let's ride with him here, going down the inside with Martin Tomczyk. Tomczyk keeps it stuck in the inside there, and now accelerates out wheel by wheel with Jamie Green. Green's not giving anything, but the track then flicks to the right. Green then goes wide onto the grass. He cannot hold off Martin Tomczyk. He drops out of a podium position. Jamie Green back in 4th place. Rockenfeller has pulled away a little bit more now from Spengler. Back in his stride after the 2 pit stops. Now we've got a great replay here of that wheel-to-wheel action. Hubnut to Hubnut. And then Jamie just pushing it too hard, has to take to the grass. Not much grip out there, gets it back on track. And the Audi boys, look how they reacted to that. Norbert Howe didn't react in the same way. Ralf Schumacher seems to be slowing down under pressure from Susie Stoddard. Good battle also going on for 6th place. Here are the two Mercedes. Here's this 6th place battle. Mortara, Engel, Ekstrom. Ekstrom trying to attack. Very good run by Mara Engel. Don't think that Renger van der Zande is going to get his wish of finishing in the points. But this is a good scrap between these three. They're enjoying it in the dunes. Mortara, as I said, won here last year in F3 Euro Series because he won that championship and that earned him a drive at Audi. Not by dint of winning it, but he got a test, and in that test he went so well they decided to sign up the Geneva-born driver. That's the Italian flag on the side of his car, but most of the time he seems to speak French. Looking down on those three, and Ekstrom again trying to get round Engel. There you see their recent lap times. It's very close between the pair of them. Maro Engel, another multilingual driver in the GQ magazine back car. Striking black and white livery on that. Going sweeping round this highly technical circuit through the Arie Luyendyk curve, named after the Indy 500 winner, down past the pits again. Spengler and Tomczyk. Tomczyk closing in now on 2nd place. But we are in the dying moments of this race. That is Rahal Frey, sensibly moves out of the way. Still finding her feet in this championship. Hardly raced last season. On board with Martin Tomczyk then. Hoping to attack, hoping to pounce here on Spengler. Spengler, who led the race early on until the first pit stop sequence. But if he stays here, he will go away with the most points. He'll still lead the championship. Next round is at the revised A1 ring, Oostenrijk ring, now called the Red Bull ring. Paffett 9th, Jarvis 10th, the two Brits both out of the points, as is Schumacher. Susie Stoddard in 12th place, Van der Zande 13th with Taurus 14th. Molina, he'll be disappointed with 15th. Had a good result here last year. So has he got anything left in his tank? Martin Tomczyk tries down the inside. Spengler covers. And that pair not that far behind our leader. Good battle between the current Mercedes and the older Audi. Says 0.4 of a second there. It's just about 2 cars length. And just look at that, Rockenfeller not that much further in front, but I think he knows what he's doing. He's controlling this. Just carrying enough pace to keep him ahead of this dueling pair behind him. See how he dropped down there into that start-finish line. Pit boards go out. Closing moments here, and Tomczyk hasn't given up. Tomczyk still pushing hard. But he really had to try and get past at the Tarzan at the end of that lap. Not too many overtaking places round here. Rockenfeller, his lead just about 1.6 seconds. He's been pegged back a bit. But Rocky is looking good for his first victory. 44 DTM races. And this will be his first win if he can just hang on. Still this battle rages for second place. So heading towards the checkered flag here at Zandvoort. Still on board with Martin Tomczyk. Spengler closing up on them now, past the little lake. Tension at Audi and at Mercedes. Mercedes filled the front row of the grid, remember. It doesn't look as though they're going to have a victory here. And everybody will be pleased for Mike Rockenfeller. Also, of course, racing the Audi sports car at Le Mans. Race he won last year. And there he is. Heading towards that checkered flag. Round the line, Dyke curve for the last time. Heading towards the black and white one, and he takes it. Mike Rockenfeller wins his first DTM race at his 44th attempt, but only his second in one of the current cars. Spengler does come home second, holds off Martin Tomczyk. Jamie Green. Then it's Scheider. And they're celebrating at Audi. I think we can hear now from Mike Rockenfeller, his reaction.
Well, I'm really happy. It's hard to say because I didn't expect the speed today in the race. I have to say the team did a great job. The car was fantastic to drive. I think the key point was the start, to get one Mercedes behind me, and great strategy, good pit stops, and then I just could control it at the end, and that's always nice, of course, if you see P1. And then it started to drizzle a little bit. I got a little nervous again, but everything worked out and I'm released.
Yeah, it did drizzle just a tiny bit for 30 seconds or so. He must have noticed it on his windscreen.
It was possible to win today. The first stint was really good. I could pull away. The race was still long afterwards, but you know, if you're in front here to overtake is tough. Anyway, it's 8 good points today. There was no big mistakes otherwise, and it's my best place in Zandvoort on this track, so I'm still pretty happy.
And what about Martin Tomczyk? He had a great race. Celebrations go on.
I mean, it's something new and something nice to see a last year's car in the top of the ranking, so I hope it will stay like that, and I have nothing against
So let's check out the full result here. Rockenfeller winning by 1.4 seconds from Bruno Spengler, Tomczyk and Green. Timo Scheider came 5th. Mortara, Engel, Ekstrom came through to get a point from the back of the grid. Gary Paffett out of the points, as was Oliver Jarvis on a circuit where he'd done so well in the past. Ralf Schumacher disappointing 11th, some problems with the car. Susie Stoddard, Van der Zande, Molina, Vitoris and Coulthard. Rahal Frey 17th, Albuquerque a retirement. I can't be happy with my race speed at the moment because we were really slow. What's up? Well, that's what I have to ask. I have to analyse that because we were quick in Hockenheim. It's only my second race in the DTM. We're working on it, so we're looking forward to Austria, he says. Drivers' Championship, Spengler leads it with a first and a second, gives him 18 points. Rockenfeller 10, Tomczyk 10, Ekstrom 9, Scheider 9. It's always important when you're starting out in a new series to do well because you don't really know whether you're capable of scoring points or not, whether you can keep up. But today, I've shown I can do the job. I think I showed that in qualifying yesterday. We have to improve, but 6th is good. But ultimately, we're racing to win.
Gestern in der Qualifikation. Aber wir müssen verbessern. Es ist nur ein 6. Platz. Es ist schon sehr, sehr gut, aber wir müssen in die erste.
So he speaks English, French, Italian and German. Not bad. Celebrations then for Mike Rockenfeller, first time on the top step of that podium.
The race was a great one because we could win it first, and second as well, having Martin Tomczyk on the podium. being the fastest one with an elder car. The performance today was good. We found back the performance we had already on Saturday before qualifying. And with a good strategy and with the good pace of the cars, we could make it at the end. With that strong competition, the value of a victory is very high.
Celebrations then for Audi, but nothing but disappointment for Norbert Haug, the boss of Mercedes-Benz. Here's what he said.
Well, we won so many races and sometimes we lose. We have had 13 since the beginning of last year, won 10 of them. Today we made a strategy call and Bruno did not quite hear it, so there was a little bit a problem with the radio. He should have come in a lap earlier, maybe then the race would have developed different, but all in all we should have had a little bit better speed, but that's happening sometimes.
Yeah, there they are on the podium. Celebration time. Good race here in Zandvoort for me, Andrew Marriott. It's goodbye, and we'll also have a farewell from my colleague, Verena Wright.
As predicted, we saw a very unpredictable race result here in Zandvoort. Mike Rockenfeller won his very first race in his DTM career. We're very excited about that. In second place is Bruno Spengler, who certainly is not as pleased about second place. And in third place, a very well-deserved place for Martin Tomczyk, who overtook green. That was very exciting, and we can look forward to a very exciting race weekend in Spielberg, Austria. See you then. Bye.